going on, WolfPack Nation? Thank you so much for tuning back in here for another episode here. As we're actually going to be doing a NC State baseball, basically rewind of the regular season here. Obviously, we're recording this on May 25th, so we do not know necessarily. We're actually right here in the middle of the ACC tournament, but again, obviously don't want to talk about because as this episode might come out, who knows what just happened here with the ACC tournament, and who knows, what happened at the NCAA tournament. But again, we're just kind of going to take a look back here at the regular season, kind of look at the positives, the negatives, things to work on, whatever it may be. So obviously, taking a look back, where we finished the regular season 34-20 overall, finished the ACC conference-wise 14-15. So we unfortunately ended the ACC regular season without a winning record in the ACC, which is definitely a stinger for a team that literally a month ago we were talking about not only hosting a regional, but also to possibly winning the Atlantic Division, which was definitely within the realm of possibilities about a month ago. And so obviously going in the last 14 games, ACC wise, we went 7-7, and that's not good. So, so Macon, what were your kind of overall thoughts, just kind of in general, kind of looking at those last 14 games there, those last couple of ACC series against Duke, Carolina, and Wake Forest?
To me, it's a little perplexing how we can't score hardly at all against Wake Forest. And then, at the end when we got the series against Duke, and that's nice. We lost the series to Carolina. I just don't know what this team is. I don't even know if they really. I think maybe it's just young, but they're just inconsistent, and I don't know what would make the difference for them. I think it just comes down to maybe some pitching and some just defense, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just odd seeing it be able to. Some nights we can score like when this game's been recorded. We've got the Wake Forest win the AC tournament's already happened. Like we scored 11 runs, but then we can't score 4 in 3 games against Wake Forest. Just like a few days prior. So the same team. That to me is baseball. It's just each game is so different.
Right.
But I have nothing more than that. It's just odd. They're not a bad team. They're not really a great team either. So I don't really know where they are. It's like when you can see the flashes, but it's just in spurts. So I don't get it.
I kind of almost describe it as that we are a good team with a lot of great pieces. Like that we have a lot of great pieces, but just it's not molded yet, really. Greg, do you have anything to build off of that?
No, I think Macon pretty much, nailed it. It's just we're so Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know what team to expect. And it's usually like something is just our Achilles heel, whether, we'll score 11, like you take the UNCG game, for instance, we lose 13-11. And that game, we had both errors and pitching. One game, like Macon said, UNCW, excuse me. Yeah. My apologies. UNCW.
You're good.
But it just, it doesn't make sense. And, we're one pitch away from getting out of it, and then we'll make an error, and then the floodgates open. That's happened so many times. And when you play good caliber baseball teams, you can't give them extra outs, whether that's a walk, whether it's an error. Sometimes you can't recover from that. And we had some little bit of bad luck in that Carolina series. Like I feel like we should have won that series at least 2-3, if not swept it. We had a little bad weather. We couldn't grip the ball, and as soon as the rain stops, we get out of the inning, and then they get 1, 2, 3. So we should have won. We should have won those series. And I see you laughing over the Macon. What you got?
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you in a little bit.
Okay.
No, you know what? We'll just keep it this way. Whatever just happened, Tommy White happened. Okay, so Tommy White happened.
He hit another home run. Okay.
Yeah, no. So again, for those,
Spoiler alert.
We're recording this during the Miami game, unfortunately, and so
I just saw a bunch of Twitter feeds just says like Tommy, all caps, like holy crap.
So that's a good segue. We can talk about Tommy for his season, the regular season.
Well, again, and so I'm
curious.
to
this real quick. We were just saying beforehand, like right now, when we started this episode, it was 4-1 Miami. I feel like we can talk about it's our show. We can do what we want. Okay, it was 4-1 Miami, and Tommy White hit the home run, made it 1-0. Miami hit a home run, it's 1-1. They had a guy come up, and they had 3 home run. And I just told you guys, I said at least it happened at the beginning game and not the end. But and we're talking about being inconsistent. Maybe this is the good, knock on wood. Maybe this is the good NC State this weekend. I mean, if we're getting runs, maybe at least we're getting obviously a really good showing for Tommy White.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big deal. Like you just got it was a 2-run home run. So now it's 4-3 Miami, but
sure.
This is a team that that's what I'm talking about. Like Tommy White, we mentioned him you can make your comment later Leighton, about what you think.
Where would we be without him?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You could argue the same thing for a lot of sports teams. Like,
sure.
I'm trying to think who that was in I mean, you could Terquavian Smith in basketball, Darion Sebron in basketball. Be like, where would we be without those guys? So it's just those two.
Right.
Devin Leary in football.
Bad.
Like,
right.
I mean, there's a lot of great
Carolina Hurricanes and Toronto.
Get out of here with that.
Yes.
Anyway,
but no, I mean, and my thing is though, it's just I don't really know what we're getting. Like,
no,
yeah,
and
I really think a big part of it is pitching. I think the absence of Sam Highfield this season is a narrative. I think
difference.
I think Villeman's been playing about what you would expect, and I mean, I don't know if he's been worse, but I think he's been like. Okay, but you're getting at least what I thought. I didn't think. So my thing was, I don't see him made a leap. I think he's just right where he was. That's what I think, and that's my opinion. I could be wrong.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
It's fair.
It's
no,
fair.
It's fair.
It's wrong, but it's fair.
You can be wrong, and you can have your opinion on it.
Hey, as long as you own it, right? You're owning it, and that's all that matters.
Well, hey, he's from High Point. I live in High Point, so I got to stick up for him. So, but
fair.
I don't know. I just think there's. Pitching could be better this season, and I think we're seeing that in different cases. I think Kanan Silver has nice moments. I think Willardson's had nice moments.
Yes.
So,
but let's go back to your point though about Sam, because now you have pitchers that weren't going to be in a certain situation. So you'd maybe have plugged maybe a Kanan Silver in a long relief situation, but now he has to start because you don't have Sam available to you, and so now everyone gets moved up a level, and so your matchups maybe don't work out the way you had hoped in the beginning of the season. And you have to adapt, obviously, and we haven't done that at times. But you can't overlook the Sam Highfield injury.
Right. No, absolutely not. Well, I mean, again, this is a guy that has pretty much taken the world by storm, obviously, from his performance last year. But I mean, even going to this year, he was, I think second or third team All-American, something like that.
Yeah, he was up there.
Yeah, so again, you can't ignore that. And any team who loses their ace pitcher is going to feel it. You're going to feel it.
Here's the other thing: you were expecting them to eat up about 5 to 7 innings an outing. So now you're not having to expose your bullpen, and especially if you know that potentially is not going to be one of your stronger areas in the season. Because if you look at the way we ran in that College World Series last year. We were going deep in the game. We were rolling with 4 pitchers that whole College World Series playoff run last year.
Right.
So
absolutely, yeah. And again, make it to your point too. I mean, like it's just more unfortunate, really, of anything that we have to really that even thought of Chris Villeman as even a thing. Because honestly, heading into this year, I really did think that. I mean, Chris Villeman could be a beast of a closer for us, an absolute beast, and he showed signs of it, but he just has more times than not, unfortunately, not been what we have expected. And so I mean, right now he has a 3.86 ERA, which is not what anybody wants in a closer, for an ERA. So but again, I think that for me, it's kind of like looking at this year, there's a couple of different things you can attribute it to. First of all, relief pitching's been an issue. Obviously, been shuffling really just the loss of Sam Highfill. That's that. And then the inconsistencies from the batting side, but also to the youth as well. I mean, obviously, again, just like we've been talking about, really, we've been talking about in the live streams, episodes, whatever it may be. But just as a reminder, again, that we really didn't figure out our starting lineup, like who our normal 9 hitters were going to be until halfway through the season, really. And most teams, pretty much ever since, like basically what winter practice, already know who their starting 9 are going to be. Already know who their 9 are going to be. And so, and also they know what position they're going to play. But again, I mean, Tommy White at one point to start the season was playing first base, but we all knew eventually he was going to be DH. And then Dominic Pololi, who, was DH
coming off an injury. Yeah.
Right. And then he went to left field, and then, and then Gino went to first base. Just, there's all these just shuffles. So again, how can you master the defense of your position if you haven't been playing it that long? Again, so the hope is that with most of the guys besides the JT Jarrett and Devontae Brown, so assuming that we only lose those 2 guys, then you're because again, heading into this season, again, those were your only 2 guys you had heading into this year. And so now next year, you're basically getting the opposite, where you're getting 70 of your guys back, hopefully. Again, it's who knows with the transfer portal, just who the heck knows. But so
going back to Chris for a second, like there was times we were bringing him in the 7th inning, like
right, which is odd, and that's not what you want to do. Yeah,
right. That's terrible. Because, and again, I think you can pinch some of that back to Sam being out of the lineup, because if you look at major league teams, they have roles. The guy's a long reliever, he's a lefty specialist, he's a 8th inning guy, setup guy, and then you have your closer. We didn't have those clearly defined roles, and so Coach Avent was having to shuffle through and just who's available, because when you score 11, give up 11 runs in a game, you're going to go through 3 or 4 pitchers. So like, who do I have available that has some pitches left in their arm? Right. So you just don't know what you have potentially any given night.
Right. Absolutely. And, but again, wanted to kind of talk a little bit here, though, looking at the statistics, though, and kind of talk about Tommy White, though, because for those who don't know, because
he deserves to be talked about more and more and more. It really
because again, I just want to say that again, everybody talks about his home runs, but you may not even know that he actually led the team in batting average. Yep. So
371,
359.
Okay, went out a little bit.
He's still hitting home runs, I imagine.
Terrible. 359. That's terrible.
A power hitter at 359.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, my thing RBIs. Is, though, like, guys, think about this too. Like, he just tied the NC State record for home runs at 25. So he is literally arguably
single season,
greatest. He is arguably the greatest home run slugger we've ever had. And already, and he's still got a few more games he could play postseason. So but this one, I think the other guy, I just was looking at a tweet that he ties some guy named it's funny, his last name was Turtle, or his nickname was Turtle. I can't remember his actual first name. Where's it at?
Hurdle.
Either way, he tied the home run record. Turtle Zaun, Zaun, has the 25 home runs in NC State history. I don't remember what year that was, but his name was Turtle, like the animal. Turtle Zaun.
Gotta be a long time ago. For the name like Turtle, it's got to be a long time.
I think I don't know who Tracy Woodson is. I see another name that's popped up that might have 25 as well. But either way, you're watching one of the greatest single seasons that NCAA players ever had, and he's not done. So
I believe the all-time record is only like 56. I don't know why that number jumps at me. It's like 53, 56
in a career.
Yep,
in a career. Yeah,
yeah. So there's a player on, I think it's Tennessee's team, who's got like 30 some home runs right now for this season, but I don't know what his all-time record. So Tommy White doesn't have any of the most in the country. Don't get that in your head right now. But he ain't far off.
Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flatlands Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need, offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flatlands Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time wearing and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flatlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flatlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out.
I'm trying to figure out how, and I meant to look this stat up, and maybe you guys know it off the top of your head, how he didn't get Player of the Year. I know the kid from Clemson got Player of the Year. I don't know what his stats were, because I mean their season wasn't any better than ours, so like I don't know what the difference was in their stats.
And so looking at it here, so because home runs wise, Tommy was third. Max Wagner had 26 home runs, and then Kevin Parada had 26 as well from Georgia Tech, the catcher from Georgia Tech. So,
so was the Max guy the first name? Is he the kid from Clemson?
And he had a 379 batting average. So probably 379 batting average and 26 home runs compared to Tommy's 350 batting average and
how many
23
RBIs?
home runs. That's a good question. Let me look at that real quick. Let me pull up his stats.
He hit a 2-run
74. He had 74.
Okay, so, all right.
And Tommy had 68. So he was right there. Was right there.
I'm sure he got votes.
And Max Wagner's.
By the way, Willitson retired the side, so now we're going into the fourth inning.
That's why we should have started him.
Anyway, so yeah, again, so basically that's why. I mean, he was right behind Tommy White. So, so again, no harm, no foul.
But Tommy's time's coming.
Tommy's time's coming.
I mean, he'll be preseason probably.
Here's the thing: you can't expect him to have the same season he did this year.
Why not?
But it's my thing. He could. I'm not saying he can't, but I won't expect. It's not like, oh well, he broke the home run record. He's going to hit 50 next year. Okay, I can't. You can't do that. But could he do the exact same thing? Yes. Like
he could.
I just don't think it's unreasonable with a better team, another year of experience. Only thing I could say is our guys just going to intentionally walk him every time that's
exactly what I was thinking, because I tell you right now, he's not going to see another pitch this game. He's not going to see another pitch this game.
I don't think he would either. Yeah, if they're pitching to him, I don't know. Yeah. And what situation would you pitch to him this game? Nothing.
If they're up 10-1 or you're 10-4,
a bajillion to nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Exactly.
But if it's within one run, there's no way they're pitching. Carolina didn't pitch to him. I think one of the games, I think he had 1 or 2 home runs, and they didn't pitch to him the rest of the series.
What would be one of the funniest calls is if they called him to bunt.
That'd be funny.
Could work. I mean, nobody would see, but he's not like a sprinter. He'd have to be like, it would never work. But it'd be
the perfect placement.
It'd be like in a shift. If there was a shift, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing which I want to bring up though, because I think this is another issue as well that we have, is and I don't know because again, we definitely need to have Rob back on once the season really finishes, and we'll definitely do this again. But because one thing I want to ask is, how much of an issue is it that we don't really have a base stealer? We don't even really have.
How much of an issue is it that we can't watch this game on TV? That's the real question.
we were joking about that. It's like we need to have an episode of why the
frustrating that we've been on this side note. Why can't we get this on TV? Why is it blacked out on ESPN? It's so frustrating. We have real lives. We can't go to the game tonight. All right.
Why does the ACC hate ACC baseball?
Yeah. Why can't we have a real? What was your question? A relief pitcher? You said.
No, it's base stealer, but close enough.
Base stealer, close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody's Trey Turner. So I mean.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't need necessarily a Trey Turner, but just somebody that can threaten a little bit. I mean, because even JT
did good though. Yeah, go ahead.
He only had 1 base steal. He only had 1 tip and 1 base steal. That's it.
Wow. I would have thought he had more.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's one.
And Devontae doesn't really steal bases a lot. I think he had a few.
I could see a guy like Groover. I feel like Groover being a good base stealer.
I think Josh Hood led our team in steals.
Peyton Green led. He was 10 for 10. Peyton Green was 10 for 10.
I was thinking third base, and they moved.
Nobody else had above 7 attempts, which is crazy. So
see, the game has changed so much, though. Like, I don't know. Right. I mean, college is still a little different than the major leagues, but that's just not the style of baseball that they play anymore. It's get on base, ding it, okay, start over, get on base, dinger. Like that's just
right.
Kind of the way the game has gone.
I agree. So, but again, also too, one of the things I think that's been a huge positive coming out is Gino Groover, Lou James Groover the third, and
Great name.
350. Yeah, indeed. 354 batting average, 561 slugging, 43 RBIs, and 10 home runs. So again, solid stats this year. And I think the only thing which I would look at is he had 10 errors, which is third
That
on
was
team.
early.
Josh had 12. Correct.
But that was early because he started in left field, had a couple there, had a couple at
Right.
second. I don't think he's made too many once he's gotten to first, and I think he's really settled down there.
Yes, I would love to see. I know we don't have it here, but I would love to see, just like you said, kind of a breakdown of like errors just on first base. Because first base, yeah, he's been very solid first base. And because we got to talk a little bit about the errors. So Peyton Green led the team with 14. Josh Hood was second with 12, and then Gino had 10. So because that's definitely a place that we got to improve next year for sure. But I think, again, a lot of that comes back again to the experience perspective of it. Hopefully we can head into it next season, even practice-wise.
And they were switching guys. They kept switching
exactly.
them. Like most of Green's errors would have been at shortstop. Like I think he's been pretty solid once they moved him over to third. And then but Josh has stepped up a few on errors, but he's getting a lot of balls hit at him. So
that's true. And also too, he's also kind of shuffled as well between shortstop and third base. So, so we'll give him that as well. But again, kind of taking a look back here, obviously JT Jarrett and Devontae kind of, I saw an interesting tweet. I think it was by Rob McGlam about kind of what is the what's the word? Kind of the, what you're leaving behind kind of deal. Like what's your legacy kind of deal. And I think that he kind of basically said it best, basically saying that the legacy really was the renovations of the Doak. Really, I think that was kind of really just what's going to be like behind.
They got it done.
This was the year that it's finally being done. It's been talked about for years and years and years and years and years that we are way behind the 8 ball when it comes to baseball facilities. And really, it was last year's team that got it in motion, and then it was this year's team that, okay, now it's rolling. Like, it's finally happening this year. And so I think that's really going to be the biggest piece of it. Now, I mean, obviously JT Jarrett, for those who don't know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but
his dad's the coach of Notre Dame. Yeah, that's right.
His father is the head coach at Notre Dame. Did you know that? Yeah, no.
I thought I maybe heard it once before, but
it's like saying Joe Danan's uncle is A-Rod. It's like we know.
I know. Unless you live on planet Mars,
And there's others though. I feel like there's another one. There was another one.
Tommy White's a freshman, guys. Did you know that?
Really?
Tommy White's a freshman.
But getting back to JT's and Devontae's legacy, I think that is like a good analogy, because you can say like the reason we have an updated Carter Finley is because of Chuck Amato and Phillip Rivers.
Yep.
So I think that's a great thing, because I don't think you get the renovations if we don't make the College World Series last year. And then you definitely don't, you maybe, but then to play on the emotions of the Pac-9 or Pac-13, that it just kind of wrote its own story. And so
strike while the iron's hot kind of deal.
Exactly right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and they were very integral. Unfortunately, JT was really integral in the whole Pac-13 game because he was patient zero. But
yeah, poor guy.
It was that. Well, obviously that's not his fault. It just is the way it worked out. But
yeah, exactly.
It could have been any one of those kids on the team. But I think they definitely just captured a nation. I mean, you had Dave Portnoy tweeting out every day about NC State baseball. So like you said, it's just the right time, and we're gonna finally get what should have been done 10 years ago.
Exactly. Well, and I mean, obviously Devontae too. When I think back at him too, I think about his performance in the Louisiana Tech regionals last year. That
so good.
Hot in the regionals last year.
He had like 3 or 4 home runs in that series. I mean, every time he would turn around, he was hitting a dinger. I mean, it was insane.
Amen.
And he was making great catches. Like, he was fantastic on defense. I think that's a thing that's very underrated about him, is his defense is so good.
Well, you don't expect him to be able to move that way at his size. He's not like a slender, athletic looking guy, but he is very athletic for his build.
Well, and unfortunately too, I mean, I don't know a ton about baseball. Baseball is definitely, in terms of like Major League Baseball, is one of the few ones I know really a lot about. But one thing I do know for the most part is really that Major League Baseball, they don't really generally, if you're an outfielder, they don't generally look at your fielding really per se. Really, they more care about your batting. At the end of the day, if you're a great
Especially on the
batter,
corners.
they'll teach you to outfield. Like, they could teach you that, but they can't, so. But I feel like, again, with Devontae, if they really valued fielding, Devontae would be like a must get. That dude is an ESPN waiting to happen.
Yeah, he can play the corners. He's got enough speed. He can play center field. Typically your best defensive guy in the outfield is your center fielder because he can go track the ball down. Your corners have power. Devontae can do all of that. I mean, he's got the tools.
Yes.
I would be shocked if he went past the 5th round.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
I think he's top 5 round pick.
Wow. Did not.
We'll see though.
That.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be
buddy, so it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, hey,
I think
again,
he's got the tools.
I love it.
Right.
Absolutely. So, yeah, no. So again, so David Harrison, Matt Hold'em, and Kaden Silver, Devontae Brown, JT Jarrett. Thank you all. Thank you all, seniors, for the impact that you guys made on this program, man. And you guys are always welcome back and a part of the WolfPack family. So, again, hopefully here, when this episode has come out, we have some exciting news of what just happened in the tournament. And hopefully, what happened in this Miami game. Knocking on wood over here, and hopefully some good news of what happened in terms of NCAA tournament placement as well.
Right.
Again, but either way, no matter what, I think that, again, if every state fan could just understand what we were truly getting heading into this season, and as Macon does a fist over there, Tommy. What? Okay.
Hold on. Groover, Gino.
2 outs. They 2 outs, and then they got on first and second, got on first and second, and he hits a double, I think.
All right, so we're just going to stay on the air until this game is over, Wolfpack Nation.
We're just going to record an episode of our.
Hey, look. We were down 4-1, and I told you it was early in the game. Now it's 5-4. We got to hold.
We should have made this a baseball live stream.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
well, but we can't watch it anywhere.
We got that for the. If we make it through this game, we've got it for the next game. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I hope there's a next one.
Exactly. Amen to that. Well, thank you all so much.
2 outs too. 2 outs too. By the way,
that's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
But just to finish off the thought, once again, if everybody understands
we return you to your
heading into the season, then I think overall it's been a solid season overall in terms of if you look at what we had coming back this year overall, and with Sam Highfield being out as well.
One last comment about this. This game is a microcosm of our season.
Maybe.
Is it? How so?
The season's not over. Okay.
No. As of our season has come up to this point.
I want you to explain this.
Yes,
because if you think about it, we get a lead, right? We were up 1-0. They tie it. Okay. They get a big lead. Now we're back in it. We've taken a lead, right? What inning are we in?
With the microcosm, are you expecting us to lose?
Are you expecting us to lose now, Greg? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything.
Or are you saying it's because it's a microcosm in that it's unpredictable what's happening? Or
okay.
Take it. You infer how you want to infer, folks.
Side note, does anybody remember the last time Preston Palmero hit the home run against Miami into the park home run?
15,
yep.
That was against Miami in AC tournament too. By the way,
it was. That was. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was.
Just
apparently a player from Miami got hurt. FYI.
Well, prayers up for him. Hopefully, he's not too hurt.
He hit the ball.
It's just been an
outfielder. Sorry.
It's just been an interesting season, and this is kind of how our games go. That's kind of where I was going with where I was saying we're just an up and down, game. It's like I don't know if you guys play golf, but it's like an up and down hole where you scramble and you get where you want to go, and you do okay, but you could have done better to get to that point.
Sure. Yeah. No. Oh, that's why my reaction was kind of like, "What are you trying to say, Greg?" Like, I thought you were about to say, because if this baseball game is about to end how our season ended, I don't like that. So
I'm gonna make another point here, guys, that I made earlier. Why can we not watch this game on TV? This is so stupid. So stupid, ESPN. Okay, I'm done.
Yes.
Contact your local cable network or your
come on, now
your
get out of here.
neighborhood
In the episode.
cable provider.
In the episode.
Thank you all so much again for tuning in. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and give us a follow. Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter and Instagram. But hey, as always, y'all, go Pack, baby.
Go
Go
Pack.
Pack.